Hello, I hope everyone is alright. Uh, this video bit different. As you saw in the caption with the name, I hate bullies. I really hate them. I hate people that just because they have position or strength or the ability of hurting others, use that to obtain some kind of silly satisfaction over others. I never understood it. I never liked it. Whenever I had to fight, I never took any special satisfaction of it, you know. Never. How can I say this? I never felt pleasure, even when I was defending myself, let's be clear, beating the crap out of some idiot that believed that he would be stronger than me, and that he just wanted that silly pleasure of trying to beat me up. And I generally would kick their asses. Many times I ignored attempts of humiliating me because I don't like to fight. You might believe this is a bit odd, uh, because I like martial arts. I have always liked it, and now that I'm growing older, it becomes even a more important part of my life because starting from tomorrow, I already been trying to getting fit again, trying a bit hard because I had other health issues and personal issues too, like I said in my post. I'm not going into that because I'm also that type of person that doesn't like to share that stuff. Okay, so my problems are my problems. They are not your problems. Okay, it's I don't think it's fair to um, overbear or overshout or whatever, overload others with our own issues. Our own issues are ours to deal with. Okay, even if I do believe that someone, if you, for example, you are listening to this and you are struggling with mental issues, with depression or whatever, my advice is to look for specialized help. Okay, look for someone that can help you because if you are feeling lost, if you are feeling ideas of committing suicide, if you are feeling ideas of not belonging to the world, that is a symptom that you are ill. Believe me, I went through the same. There is no shame. It happens to absolutely everyone. Everyone. Don't be mistaken. Don't think that a person just because the person is laughing and apparently happy and content with their lives that they may not be in pain or struggling to deal with things in their lives they sometimes are unable to deal with. And then you go into dark alleys, and you try to end your life. Again, I know. All right. So here is me. I'm speaking to how many people might be listening to me here online, and I have no shame about it because it's normal. It does not mean weakness. It does not mean weakness. It just means that our minds are very complicated things, and you can get to a point where you think that the only way to get rid of the pain that you are feeling is to simply end the pain, ending yourselves. Anyone can reach that point, but you have to think first. You have to think this. You have to be selfish. You have to think for yourselves. You have to think, even if I have all these issues, there are still things that I want to experience. There are still things that I want to do. And if there are not, I will find it. Something as simple as taking a walk around the block. And I'm talking about these things because they are connected with the bully business. Yeah, I'll explain it. Okay, if someone is bullying you, you have to fight back, however you can. Maybe you can fight back because it's a boss, it's someone above you in your place of work, it's a family member, but you need to find ways to do it. The easiest way is to distance yourself, is to find other things to do. The other way that is harder is to deal with it. Talk back, answer back, and then understand that you will face the consequences of your actions. But at least it will be the consequences of your actions, of your will. Okay? Sorry, allergies. All right? Because when we do something, we need to take charge of our own destiny. And sometimes it's extremely hard. Like, for example, cutting off a person from your life. You know? Girlfriend, a boyfriend, a partner, a husband, a wife. Okay, sorry. These allergies are terrible. Not picking my nose. Okay, it's just this crap. You know, cutting off your best friend, cutting off someone that is a part of your life. But when you do it, and I have done it, I was forced to do it, also to family members. When you do it, you have to do it in a non emotional way. You have to do it like a doctor approaching a problem and presenting a radical solution. The people that I cut off, that I have got cut off, I don't talk about them. I don't want to know anything about them. Okay? I don't even look at them in the streets if for any chance they are there. Maybe it's cultural, I don't know, but this is the way you should do it. And this is how you have to act with bullies. They try to bully you, you answer back. Even if they kick your ass at the first time, at the second time you will find a way to do it. This might be violent, but when I was a kid, my grandfather taught me how to deal with some bullies, how to be physical, because he knew that was the best solution. One day I was bullied. The next day I took a sock with some coins to aid me. I took down the three main bullies, kicked their asses hard, so hard that next day my poor mom and dad were at the school, but my parents didn't punish me. Okay, being a bit simple, they basically asked me what was happening. Did I started it or did I ended it? I said I ended it. The other day, after the two bullies having been kicked out, kicked, having getting their asses kicked, I didn't have much friends, but I didn't need them. This is another thing that you have to really realize in your life. You don't have to be friendly and have friends everywhere. To live in society, you need to be polite with others and to follow society's rules, meaning not being antisocial. But to not wanting or having many friends, that does not mean you are antisocial. That just means that you don't like false people. This is why I don't like liars. That is why I don't like those superficial people. I don't like. I have few friends, few connections, and sometimes we might be, I don't know, a month, even more. without speaking a bloody word to each other, not even through a message or something like that. But when we talk, it's like we just stopped talking the day before. Okay, I'm a very down to earth person, really. Sometimes even frugal, but I like to approach things with logic. I think, and I've spoken often about this in my videos. I hate it when I let my emotion rule me, because when you let your emotions rule you, you will do stupid things. You will commit stupid actions, and the here is the reason why I am returning so much to the martial arts again, to that discipline. Because if you don't know this, for example, for Buddhist monk, martial arts, it's not really fighting. It's fighting with yourself. That discipline, that physical discipline, helps you to focus your mind. And this, you might find it strange to be hearing this from some white dude in South Portugal. Okay, some half half breed European, you know, but I'm not American. Okay, Bata. Okay, but it really hit me when I was a kid, and it really helped me with my hyperactivity. That is something that never goes away, and my parents didn't wanted to fill me up with drugs, with medicine. Okay, they didn't want it. It shows other paths. It shows the path of making me focus, for example, in learning in languages. They knew I had, and I do, an innate ability to learn different languages. They cultured that, and mind you, my parents were wealthy. Okay, I we had some weird things, but we worked for them. Bakeries. Okay, the family trade, the family trade. But even so, they insisted on it. Hmm? And in drawing, it's one of the things that I have always been able to do, to draw. I was drawing before I was writing, and I started to write very soon. 5 years old, 4 years old, something like that. I was already writing. I could write anything. I'd never had any issues in writing and reading, especially reading. I always loved to read. But I was drawing before all of that, drawing everything. Drawing the dog, drawing the cat, drawing trees, drawing monuments, drawing everything. You know, it's something that I sometimes do. For example, when I'm in a waiting room waiting for something, I have a little notepad or something like that. I just start to draw, and I feel happy when I'm doing it. It makes me happy, really. And when you are dealing with a bully, first thing you have to understand is this: you are always going to get hurt. You have to be brave. You have to understand that even be it psychological uh, bullying or a physical bullying, you're always going to get hurt, and you have to accept that. Secondly, you have to understand one thing: you are not fighting back to the bully, okay? Because you want him to, I don't know, to leave you alone. You're not fighting back to the bully. to let him know that this this guy is not going to take his shit. So even if he smacks you, we'll find a way to get even. Now, speaking of myself, I was very vengeful, but I was not vengeful because I took pleasure of it. Hmm? I was vengeful because I knew it was an effective way of curbing the bully. When they won in a group, for example, they were very strong, and I would brush it off, tell them off, you know, tell them off, and I wouldn't pay no mention. But then I would find them alone, and then we would have a nice private talk. Okay, and I'm not a big guy. I'm very large. I'm very heavy set. Like my nephews say, I look like a mobster. Okay, I have to shave this. This is not mobster like. Haven't felt, haven't had the will to shave the hair and the beard. But I'm strong, really fucking strong, man. Okay, I used to carry, and I'm still very strong even with my issues. But I used to carry, for example, 2 bags of flour, each one weighing 100 and something kilos. And I would just put one beneath each arm, and that would be nothing to me. Okay, I'm a very strong person, and I'm not bragging. Okay, I'm just saying as it is. But you have to be strategical in your behavior against a bully. You have to hit them where it hurts. And sometimes just a smile and an indifferent stare and something like this, denying them the interaction that they crave, that is very much enough. And this is why when I made my stream talking about, uh, I think it was a stream in a video, talking about the tariffs that Trump has imposed on Europe, I talked a lot about the way Ursula von der Leyen dealt with Trump. Did you see her slight smirk, slight smile, a pleasant smile? Oh yes, yes, a great deal. This is how you do with the bully. And Trump, he ranted and he ranted and he ranted, and he said absurd sayings, like he always does, because he is a bully, an aging bully, but a bully. You know, he gets up in the middle of the night, maybe to go to the bathroom or go have a sip of water or something, some shit like that, and he posted some shit in his Truth Social. This is how the man works, and I wonder how do the people that follow him, okay, and that still believe in him. I wonder how those people react to that. How do you reason that? How do you reason a man that says that tariffs they are filling the coffers with billions in tariffs when all of those tariffs are taxes that the Americans are paying? And this is why in terms of the European Union, I fully support the position of Germany, for example, and of Ursula von der Leyen, of the Commission. I fully support them because this is the right way to deal with these people. Now, drifting a bit from the bully team, but just to be, I want to make another video about this to explain this. But imagine this, okay? The French, for example, they are very bothered, and with reason. Let's be clear, because their products, for example, in Portugal sells a lot of wine. I think the USA is our second market in wines. And they are already crying subsidies around here, and they are very sad because the government is telling them to fuck off, sell your wine elsewhere, diversify your economy. And this is something I like about the governments here. When Brexit happened, they were also crying to the government, the tourist sector, we need subsidies and we need this and we need that. And the prime minister at the time, which is in the EU right now, Antonio Costa, he just said this: there are other markets, there are other tourists, invest in them. And this is the same thing I would say to the winemakers here. Fuck off. You chose that business. Now you want our state money to subsidize your business. If you can't run a business, then your business goes down, and that's it. That is it. Sell elsewhere. The Canadians want wine. South America, they like our wine too. And China wants our wine. Japan too. Korea too. But you have to work for it. You have to work for your market. Okay. You, you and Europe of course, Europe all over the EU, our wine is good. No. A lot of people talk about French wine is this and that. Oh, it's very good. But our wine, especially the one from two regions, okay, and there are good wines across the country, okay. Even in the Madeira Island, you will find wine, Madeira wine, which is very famous. But you have the Douro River region, which produce excellent wines beyond the classic Porto wine, and you have South Portugal, interior South Portugal, where you have these very sweet and very heavy and very tasty red wines, very earthy red wines. Okay, this is just an example. But did you see her pose? She was dealing with a bully. She was like this. You see, heads crossed on the lap, a very ladylike position, listening intensively, like she was paying a lot of attention to what he was saying. And she was. She was listening to every word he was saying. She was analyzing them. I know because I do that. When I'm listening to a person, I'm really listening to them. You have to listen really careful to all you say. For example, when Trump was talking about, well, they are going to buy, I don't know, 700 billion or whatever the fuck he was talking about of energy. Okay, Europe is already buying energy from the USA. And the energy that he means is oil and gas. And at the same time, we are decoupling from fossil fuels energy. We are stopping. We are stopping it. Okay. I think Portugal last year reached 68 or 70% of total energy green energy. We are already over the tipping point. You understand this? In most of Europe, in most of Europe, we are already the tipping point of the 50%. This means that we are no longer going at the same level with fossil fuels, like for example USA. No, we are already over the tipping point. So who cares? Oh, we are going, and then he's talked about European companies that are going to invest 700 billions in the USA. Fine, we will buy you out. Chinese are also buying you out. Even the Brazilian company, is the larger supplier of beef in your market. Did you know that? I think some Americans don't know that. And what we will, I don't know. Look, I don't know about you. I don't know if the Americans care if they work for an American or an European. But the issue here is that this is more or less a carte blanche for European money to enter in the USA and buy you out. Okay, BlackRock is the largest owner of real estate in the world. Did you know that? No, you don't. Because magazines are just worried about, I don't know, illegal immigrants. You know, the guys that plow your fields, okay, that clean your pool, that serve you at the restaurant, those hardworking people that actually, actually are honest people trying to make a living. Because the real gangsters, you know who they are? Well, number one, they're the gangsters that are governing you. Number one, the billionaires that don't pay taxes, that are able to find 1,001 routes to not pay a dime. Hmm? And then you have actual criminals. Of course you have gangs, you have all of that. But those guys, they are not at the restaurant. No, it's not the Paco, the guy in the restaurant that is serving you Chipotle. It's not that guy. No. And these idiots, they follow that bully mindset because that is all that they are. All those people, those magas, all of that, they're all just stupid bullies. The rest of the Americans should not forgive them. No, put a brand in their fucking faces. Take it. Every time that those idiots then try to post something online, you say, "Oh, now you're very sorry, but you did this and you did this and you did that," and this is not. And you do this to those people recognize their fucking mistakes. You do that because they deserve no better. Now they are crying. I think about I think 300 or 340 family-owned farms in the USA have gone bankrupt. So, why the fuck did you vote for him? Maybe some of you didn't. And let me tell you this: what I am saying now about Americans this and American that, if you are someone with a clear mind that had no participation in this, if you went to vote, if you voted in the other side, with that, with all its problems, with all its issues, is much better than the lunatic you have now. If you are one of those persons that did not vote in that idiot or did not sat at home with your ass in the couch instead of go and vote, if you are one of those persons, do not feel offended by a single word that I'm saying because this has nothing to do with you. And I know because I know of you. Okay? But when you are dealing with persons like this, when you are dealing with bullies, man, you have to be cold. You have to be conniving. Look. I think it was Bruce Lee that said something like, "If you are expecting that life should treat you good because you are a good person, it's like expecting that a tiger will not devour you because you are a good person." And he was absolutely right. This comes a lot from a lot of stuff that I learned in martial arts. That was this. For example, my sifu. This means the person that taught me. Uh, he taught me a lot. And one of the things that they, he taught me is this: in a conflict, first of all, you have your legs. You see an issue, if you can avoid it, avoid it. physically remove yourself from. If you can't avoid it, you use your words, you use your voice, you use your arguments to stop an issue. If that does not work, you end the conflict physically. If you need to do it physically, you do it, and you end it. You end that conflict as fast as you can. Okay, fights only take for sometimes for minutes or even hours. They just take that time in movies. A real life fight, it takes less than 30 seconds. Seconds, and the fight is over. Okay, remember what I did to the bullies? No? I knocked out the three main characters. The rest of the herd dispersed. I was 6 years old. I was already learning that. In this case, from my grandfather. Okay, but my Sifu also taught me this. If you need to end an issue, you end it. This is how you do with the bully. You have to be strategic in your attack and always try not to use violence because violence. My kid here has entered in the room and she has the need to open all the doors and come in. Hello, you listen. You heard it. Now, I'm going to end this video. The message that I want to give you in my the message that I want to summarize this is this: if you let a bully walk over you, you will do it again and again and again. It's they have this infantile and primitive necessity to have that little satisfaction because their lives are so empty and so full with either futilities or shit like this. You know, even a rich kid, oh, he has so many things, but maybe his life is a bloody mess, a bloody emptiness. They are empty inside. And they are jealous of people like you that have something inside, that have an intellect, that have an emotion, that have an understanding of the world. They are jealous of you. You know, this might seem a paradox, but they are jealous of you. Right? Even if you are a man, and sometimes you are a good person, that does not mean, for example, that you will not be attacked by the bad things in this world. The world does not care about good and wrong. If you read Nietzsche, you would understand that actually there is no evil. There is no evil and there is no good. There is no absolute in the world. And you have to deal with it. And if some person is being a bully against you, if they are bullying you, man, you have to respond. But either by doing these things that I told you, distancing yourself from it, ignoring it, and if that works, all good. Here's what that idiot is telling about you. You act as you act. He can talk. Let him talk. A lot of people don't like me, and they talk crap about me. And sometimes some that want to create a fuss, but most of them, because as I told you, I have few friends and few connections, but most of them, they come to talk with me with a genuine interest and said, look, he said this about you, this and that, and he's telling this and that. And I just tell them this. Well, it's not true, right? No, of course not. Then fuck him. Okay, this is how I act on these types of things. I don't care about it. I don't need that you, me. I'm talking about in my first, but you. You, my friend, you don't need that emotional baggage on your back. Marcus Aurelius talked about it. He said that you will find in others the judges that so harshly judge you, judging themselves. This means, in a very prosaic way, and this one is from my grandfather, perhaps, an opinion is like an asshole. Everyone has one. Okay, so who cares? Who cares if someone doesn't like you? Who cares if someone talks shit about you? Look, if it becomes a problem, a crime, and you go to a police station. I don't know how it is in your country, but around here, if my cat again, excuse me, you go to the police station and you denounce the situation and you say, look, you present your testimonials and say, look, this person has been saying this about me. I want to press charges. And then you go all the way. It's hard, I know. I know, by experience. You do it. If you're a guy and a girl that doesn't like you spreads around the world that you are gay or some crap, some impure idiocy, immature idiocy like that, who gives a fuck? You move on, find another girl, okay? If you are a woman and the guy is spreading around that you are a prostitute, a whore, or some shit like this, oh fuck him. And I know what you are going to tell me. Oh, but sometimes these things stay and this and yes, yes, of course they stay. A quick one. This is from I like to read Zen stories. Hmm? And this is more or less a story that stuck with me, but I'm not going to tell it like it is written, okay? But this is the story. There was a Buddhist monk, a Zen Buddhist monk, that lived on the village. He was a very kind man. He almost never spoke, hmm? But he was very cherished by the community because he helped people, because he provided his insights, even worked around in the village, all those things that a normal person like that monk would do in that period of time. And near him, the village, there was a fisherman, and the fisherman had a daughter. And one day, the daughter got pregnant and had a baby, and she was too afraid of telling her father that the father of her baby was one of the poor fishermen that worked for her father. So she said it was the monk. And big uproar. The monk had to leave the village. He was expelled to the to the region near the village. You understand what I'm trying to say? And there he continued his life of begging for food, of working for food, planting some food, whatever. And the parents took the baby and gave it to the monk and said, "It's your child. You take care of it." First of all, the monk never tried to deny that he was the father. I don't remember the exact words, but I think that when they accused them, they said, "Oh, this girl is saying this and saying that, and yet you are the father of the child." And he said, "Oh, I thought, oh really?" But he didn't deny it. Just said this. When the grandparents of the kid gave him the kid to raise because it was his kid, he said, "I thought, oh, okay, okay, okay." And there we went. He continued his life, taking care of the baby now, having to find food for the baby too, having to make food for the baby too, and he continued his life. After some months, the poor girl couldn't bear to see what her lies had caused, what the poor monk was suffering. Suffering in the sense of having to endure all of that. She couldn't be be without her child, and couldn't be without the man that she loved. And she went to her parents. She confessed everything. The parents, of course, ashamed. First of all, they let the girl married with the poor fisherman that was already working for her father. Then they went to the monk. They begged for the forgiveness of the monk, and instead, look, okay, we are going to take the baby back to be with our parents. And the monk gave the baby to the girl, and the only words that he said was, "A fool, really." And he continued his life. Did you understand the story? The universe, life, sometimes corrects things. It corrects things. I have experienced it in my life. Sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes it even may happen after you are dead. But that monk, he didn't stop living his life. He didn't stop having his, and as you know, the idea of Zen is kind of to be very simplistic. It's the kind of an emptiness that is full with the world, trying to live in harmony with the universe. Okay, trying to not have emotions, desires. Okay, and we all need a little bit of that when we are dealing with people like bullies, like stupid people, and we are living too lives that are too emotional, in my opinion. And I speak for myself, okay? I'm not, look, I have said this again, and I will repeat this old phrase that I'm keep telling you, but I'm just the guy. Imagine that you are sitting in a cafe, the sun is shining, okay? I'm sitting next to you, okay? We're having a nice espresso and a pastel de nata, okay? We're drinking the coffee, eating a custard, and talking and seeing people pass by. Imagine me like that person, okay? I have no objectives with these videos except to talk with people, to maybe give some knowledge, some information. Okay, I have no absolutely no arrogance. No, I don't consider myself better than anyone. When I'm saying talking about these things, I'm trying to share with us some. I, as you can see, I sometimes talk about my life. I have no issues about it. No, who cares? I'll be that. Hopefully, in many years' time, I like to live. I like to see things. I like things like, for example, just go out and listen to the trees and see the world pass by. I like animals. I like women. I like their presence. I like children. I love to see them running around and going nuts. No, little things. And if you are feeling depressed, if you are having issues with a bloody bully, the first thing that you have to understand is this, man. It's you that matters. However you deal with it, you deal with it the best way you can. Well, this video has gone very long, much longer than I was expecting. So I hope this brings some, I don't know, some joy or some entertainment to your life, this little video. And I hope to see you next